voices in my head may not be real. Sometimes they have good ideas. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, the voices in my head told me to compete in an international speech contest. This was 3 or 4 years ago, and it was the first international speech contest that I decided to participate in. I'd heard that by getting in speaking contests, you can become a better speaker and you build character. And to that, my daughter said, "Mom, you're already enough of a character. You embarrass me everywhere we go." So much for kids' opinions. I decided to start by practicing in my kitchen because I have a timer on my oven. And so I went through the speech several times and got comfortable with what I needed to say. The problem with doing a speech to inanimate objects is you get no reaction, you get no feedback, and you get no interruptions. So it's not really realistic. I decided I needed to step it up a notch and actually speak to something that was alive. Dixie, Savannah, come. Sit, stay. I have 2 golden retrievers. They were going to be my next audience. So I gave the speech all I had, and when I looked down afterwards, they were sound asleep. I tried it again, thinking maybe I could pep it up a bit and wake them up. Their reaction was the same. However, I have a parrot, and the parrot was screaming the top of her lungs. So loud, in fact, that she set off the alarm in our house. So much for vocal variety. I decided now I needed to step it up a little bit more and actually get the courage to speak to people. I asked my husband and daughter. However, they didn't respond very well to the come, sit, and stay method. So I had to find another audience. The next day, I went to a club that I meet with from time to time. We crochet shawls for cancer patients. Now, most of these women are a little on the elderly side, so they don't hear real well or see real clearly. So I thought this would be a great audience to start with, because they're not going to give me too critical of feedback, right? So I stood up before these people, and there were 50 sets of eyes looking back at me, and all smiling. I smiled back, and my mind went blank. Oftentimes my mind will wander. I just didn't expect it to leave me completely. And so I freaked and ran out of the room. Went to the bathroom, splashed my face, tried to compose myself, and came back again to try the second time. The room was deathly silent, except for our oldest member. She started clapping. "You did a real good job, dearie, but it was a little short." The next day, I went to a trophy place because I had volunteered to be contest master for our evaluation contest, which was the following week. And when I walked in, there was one woman behind the register, the only person in the store. And I thought, I bet I could do it in front of one person. And so I asked her if she'd mind. So I proceeded to give her my speech, and as I did, she gave me this horrific look, and she started fidgeting with her hands. And I thought she was either going to cry or run away. My God, do I have that kind of effect on people? It was kind of scary. Until I talked to her afterwards and realized the speech I was giving was about my mother's bout with cancer. She had had a similar experience, so much so that she could relate. And so I realized that I had connected with my audience. On my way home that day, my check engine light came on. Now, I don't know about you, but that always makes me really nervous. It was too late in the day to bring my car in to be serviced, and so I knew I had to wait till the following day to get it checked out. The following day was the day of the contest. Now, I didn't know if this was going to last a half an hour or all day. I didn't know how long it would take to get it fixed. But I knew I had to do it. I couldn't ride around, without a reliable vehicle. And so I went to the Ford dealership, sat in the waiting room, and in my head I was practicing my speech as I was drinking a lot of coffee. Eventually I had to relieve myself. And so I went to the bathroom. When I was finished, washed my hands, and realized there was this wonderful full-length mirror in the bathroom above the sinks. Now at this point in time, I had never tried to do a speech in front of a mirror, and I thought, what a great opportunity. No one's around. I can go ahead and see how I look doing the speech. And so I continued to give it all the guts and gusto I could manage, motioning and vocal for the whole bit. When I was finished, I went to grab my items to leave. And as I did, I heard a noise behind me. There was a woman that was in one of the stalls, afraid to come out because of all the commotion that she heard in the other part of the bathroom. She gave me this odd look and said, "Is this a true speech? Is this a true story? Or are you practicing for a play?" And I said, "No, yes, absolutely, it is a true story. It's based on my own experience, but I'm going to compete in a contest later on today." She said nothing. She left the bathroom. Came back with a manager. And I thought, oh, this is great. They think I'm a Looney Tunes and in the ladies' room and I'm out of here. Instead, she brought her in to hear my speech again. If you want to speak, whether it's in Toastmasters or outside of Toastmasters, I strongly recommend that you give different venues and different audiences an opportunity. It will not only help your speaking ability, but it will also give you great stories for more speeches.